Hey guys, time to do another Bible review. This is from Baker. They sent me the CSB Baker's Illustrated Study Bible. Now there has actually been some talk about this. We knew it was coming out. This is the dust cover that came out, and it's from Baker Books, Baker Publishing. And here is the information that's on the back about what this has. When it says information rich, it is definitely information rich. There is tons of study notes. Matter of fact, I believe I read over 2,000. There is over hundreds of images. It's full color. There's some very good drawings. It's just absolutely one of the best study Bibles that is out there. And like I said, one of the things I like that's really cool about this is that the hardback of this is the exact thing as the dust cover. Too many times now we've been seeing these coming out with kind of like a cloth cover instead of the hardback like this is. And I don't like it as much. I mean, if you're going to spend as much time doing a beautiful art job on the front of the dust cover, you ought to have it on here as well when the dust cover comes off. And Baker did that. And some of the other Bibles out there, CSB has done a few, as well as ESV and Nelson. You take the dust cover off and it's like a kind of plain. It really doesn't look that great. But anyway, this does look great, and it's absolutely great on the inside as well. Want to tell you this right off the bat. They sent this to me to give an honest review. And I would have bought it anyway because I had planned on getting this study Bible. One of the things I want to show, and this has been asked of me numerous times as my hand got in the frame there, one of the things that people have been asking me is it as big or is it littler than the CSB Study Bible? Well, here is the CSB Study Bible, and I'm going to put this right by each other, and already you can see this is, I'm going to zoom in on here, that's the difference in the size. Now the CSB, let me just kind of show you here. CSB's got great information, but one of the things that they did, they gave 3 columns, which makes the print smaller, which, for people who have problems with their eyes, that is going to be a hassle. But let me just open this up. This isn't the case here. As you see, it's got center column reference, and the references, or center column text, the references are on the gutter part, and on the inside you can see the notes are very legible. Let me kind of go over here to the New Testament, and it's 2 column, and that is much easier to read than it is in the CSB Study Bible. The paper is very, very white. It is the line matched, so you don't see a bunch of overshadowing. But another thing I want to do is, have you notice how easy this is to read? This is very easy to read, and also there's margins here where you can write notes. Now the paper is very, very good. It's thick. I don't know how thick it is. I don't know if it's what the measurements on the paper are, but it's very, very nice. The paper is very nice. It's not as thin as some study Bibles are. They make the paper very thin in order to get the size down a little bit, and sometimes it's almost too thin. That's not the problem here. But let's go to the front. As you can see, this is a sewn Bible. I'm going to come in here and you can actually see where the stitches are. So it is nicely sewn. It's got the very front here. I want you to see this. The very front page has got the logo, the True North logo from CSB. But notice this. They keep the True North image throughout the Bible. Now here's your contents, Old Testament. I like the way they did this kind of tan, kind of sticks out. Now this is a list of resources, and I want you to look at this. Who wrote the Pentateuch? Primary names for God in the Old Testament. How accurate are the census figures and numbers? Goes down, and I mean, you are going to spend a lot of time in this Bible just reading all the information that is in here. You know, it's kind of like an encyclopedia mixed in with a Bible text. That is how deep this Bible is. This is a very well done study Bible with tons and tons of research. Here's the definitions of all the different words and the place and the pages that you can find it on. Goes over here on this page as well. Then you've got your maps. Now here are the features. It shows you that it's single column. The words of Christ are in red. And let me say something about the red stuff. I normally like black letter, and I'll tell you why. Because there's no consistency in red letter. You either get a pink or a very bright red, or you get a red, or you get the brick color red, which I like a darker color. It's better for my eyes, and it's easier for me to read that way. You also have cross references, which I love the cross references, and I like the way they did them. You got footnotes. You've got section by section, outlines, connections, images, and there's tons of images here. You've got everything from sketches to maps to family trees to all kinds of pictures of how certain things look like. And then here's an introduction to the study Bible, introduction to the CSB, which is my main translation that I use. And here are all the contributors. There are many, many people that were involved in this project. And then, you know, abbreviations of how you pronounce things. And here we get into the key people, key events, events in the ancient Near Eastern world. All the different timelines that you're looking for. Kind of give you an idea of when all this took place. The New Testament timelines. So there's all kinds of great things in here. Let's go to the Old Testament. And we're getting into, again, there's that True North logo. The Pentateuch. And look at the colors. The colors in this are absolutely gorgeous. And I like the font. The font is great. Too many times, fonts can either make or break a Bible. You can get a gorgeous Bible, but the font can be difficult or hard to look at on your eyes. I'm not going to say the translation, but there is one right now that has redone its font, and they say it's an easier read font, and the letters are not connected. They're kind of broken up. And actually, it's difficult for me to read, so I don't read it. I didn't like it. Now notice here, they've kind of got a bluish tint to it, and then it fades into the white. And there's your Genesis with all your cross-references, your definitions, and literal translations down here at the very bottom with all your notes. And here's the parallel days of creation. And the color maps, they're just absolutely very well done. They jump out at you, just the colors. And I love this paper. This paper is a nice paper. It's not real thin. Matter of fact, you can hear it when you feel it. It's easy to turn. And in the winter, my hands have a tendency to be really dried out. But this is easy to turn and easy to read. And I love the margins. I can make notes in that. Before you do it, though, check out the pens and see which ones are going to bleed through the pages and which ones aren't. There's all kinds of things out there to help you. I actually use the Crayola twistable crayons or the twistable pencils, and I use those more than anything else. They don't bleed through. Look at that. That is just a great drawing there. Okay, so now you got an idea of what it looks like in the Old Testament. Let's take a look at Psalms. And there you go. You've got, sorry, the sun's coming through the window. You've got the layout here as it's done. And again, single column and in poetry font, poetry style. And we're going to go ahead and go on and take a look at the, before we get into the New Testament, let's go, here's Malachi. And now we're going to get into the New Testament introduction. A wood panel depiction of the baptism of Jesus. Gospels and Acts. Overview of the life of Christ. Kind of gives you a breakdown. And the harmony of the Gospels. This is, if you're wanting to ever read your Bible in chronological order, this is one of the ways you do it. And there's Matthew again. There's that True North logo. As you can see, this is a really, really nice Bible. I will be honest with you, it is heavy. So it's not one that you could take to church. I did ask them if they planned on making it available in an ebook form or as an app. They said not at this time that would happen, but I'm sure somebody will wind up doing it, either Logos or Olive Tree or somebody like that. But this is so well done. But anyway, that kind of gives you an idea of how this is done and how they did this Bible. It's very well put together. The concordance, which is pretty exhaustive, as well as the maps. So if you're looking for a good study Bible, this, and let me zoom in on here, this is the ISBN number. But right now, around Christmas, these are on sale, and I highly recommend getting them. It'd be a great gift for your pastor or maybe your youth minister or anybody that you know that likes to study the Word. This is a great Bible to get your hands on. Like I said, it is a little big to be carrying around. As you know, if you got a CSB study Bible, as you can see there, how much thinner it is. This is about maybe a third more. But I'm going to tell you, it is well worth the study, well worth the translation, and well worth the investment. So definitely go check it out. This is Baker Books Illustrated Study Bible in the CSB.